Stop everything you're doing and lean all the way in because what just went down behind the scenes of love and hip-hop makes every reunion fight. Every thrown heel and every spilled mimosa look like a church picnic. You thought the Joseline verses. Mimi era was wild. Baby, this right here is something the cameras were not supposed to catch except they did. And now, it's leaking faster than Scrappy's excuses. What would you do if your spouse cornered you backstage with a stack of receipts, a mic still hot, and a camera 2 doors down rolling the whole meltdown? Would you run? Would you lie? Or would you pull a Lil Scrappy and try to bark your way out of a courtroom-level trap in front of the whole damn cast? Because let me tell you, when Kendra Robinson, aka Miss I Don't Play That, stormed down that hallway in 6-inch stilettos and courtroom-ready fury, Scrappy didn't just lose an argument. He lost the plot, and the best part? Everybody heard it. From Mona Scott to the backup dancers, jaws were on the floor, wigs were sideways, and one intern allegedly cried behind the lighting rig. You ready to unpack this chaos? Buckle up. This isn't just a fight, this is a funeral for Scrappy's reputation. It started like any other reality. TV taping too much contour, too many cameras, and a cast full of people pretending their lives aren't falling apart. But baby, what went down backstage at Love and Hip Hop's latest shoot? That wasn't TV, that was an active crime scene of ego, betrayal, and receipts so crisp you could slice a weave with them. And right at the center of the chaos, Mr. Lil Scrappy himself, the so-called Prince of the South, now downgraded to peasant of the petty, and his legal eagle wife, Kendra Robinson, who clearly skipped the chill pills and walked straight into that studio with the energy of a prosecutor ready to shut the whole franchise down. Sources say it started with a whisper. A tiny little rumor bouncing from dressing room to dressing room. Scrappy's been seen funding a downtown condo under someone else's name, and not just anyone. An up-and-coming rapper with a body like a bottle girl and a voice like a toddler who smoked hookah. Who? We'll get to that. But the drama didn't stay whispered for long. No ma'am, because when Kendra got wind of it, she didn't scream, didn't tweet, didn't post cryptic quotes on Instagram like a queen never chases. No, sis. Pulled bank statements, Venmo logs, leasing records. And according to one panicked intern hiding under a craft services table, she marched into the building with a manila folder thicker than Mona Scott's wig budget and told producers, y'all might want to keep rolling. From there, chaos. Scrappy was in his dressing room, allegedly mid-laugh, talking slick with his cousin about how this season was going to be light. Next thing he knows, the door flies open and Kendra walks in like a courtroom storm cloud. In 6-inch heels, she didn't yell, she hissed. You think I'm stupid? She said, throwing down the folder so hard it slid under the sofa. You paying rent for another woman while lying to my face. Now Scrappy, who's clearly used to finessing his way out of drama, tried it. Tried to lean back in his seat, shrug his shoulders and say, Kendra, chill. That's just a business investment. Business where, sir? Unless condo hopping with side chicks is a new LLC, this ain't looking like a smart portfolio move. Kendra wasn't having it. She pulled out a printed screenshot of a DoorDash receipt, $56 worth of wings and lobster mac delivered to the mystery condo. Same night, Scrappy told Kendra he was in Miami recording with Trina, and just to make sure there was no confusion, she highlighted the tip. Your dumb ass even tipped in cash. Who tips in cash unless they hiding something? Scrappy stood up. That's when the crew allegedly stopped pretending they weren't listening and started filming with their phones under the table. Security tried to intervene, but let's be honest, none of them are trained for marital combat with this much. Backstory. Kendra was fuming and Scrappy, instead of backing down, doubled down. You always playing detective, he said. You acting like you perfect, but you ain't. Oh. Did he really think that was going to help him? Because the second he said that, Kendra went from mad wife to courtroom terminator. She pulled up a voice memo, hit play. Out came Scrappy's voice, low, lazy, and incriminating. Yeah, she don't know I got the spot. I just tell her I'm working late. The audio was so clear you could hear him chewing. She believe anything when I bring her food. That was the moment everyone backstage knew it was over. One production assistant reportedly said, "I knew I should have worn flats today, because the drama wasn't just loud, it was violent." And then in walks Spice, looking like she just came for her glam check, shouting, "Yo, what is happening?" While Carly Red FaceTimed someone so fast her lashes flew off. It was giving reunion night, but uncut. Now here's where it really gets dark. Because just 2 doors down, that mystery girl, the condo queen herself, was listening through the wall. Apparently she was supposed to be a backup dancer for the night's showcase. Cute cover story, right? But the second she heard Kendra scream her full government name, baby, she vanished. Rumor is she slipped out the fire exit and took her duffel bag with her, one that had Scrappy's initials stitched into the side. Embarrassing? No, this is beyond embarrassment. This is career-ending chaos with a side of legal fallout. But Scrappy, instead of staying silent and salvaging what little dignity he had left, clapped back, loudly. "You want to talk receipts? Let's talk about how your little boutique firm ain't just doing divorce papers. Let's talk about how you broker hush money deals for baby mamas on this cast." The room fell dead silent. Mona allegedly dropped her phone. The makeup girl stopped dabbing contour on Rashida's forehead. One intern reportedly fainted into a pile of hair extensions. Because if what Scrappy just said was true, then Kendra isn't just a scorned wife. She's a ticking legal time bomb with dirt on half the show. And suddenly this wasn't a love triangle. This was love and RICO charges. Kendra didn't blink, didn't flinch. She just pulled out another screenshot, this time of a Zella transfer. "You gonna tell Mona how you asked me to wire you 20 grand for a studio build-out that turned out to be this chick's apartment security deposit?" And that's when Scrappy lunged. Not to hit her, he knows better than to mess with. A licensed attorney holding a stack of federal-level evidence, but to grab the folder before anyone else could see what was inside. Too late. Carly Red had already snatched a page and was reading it like a church program. Spice was recording the whole thing, whispering, "This better go viral. I ain't sitting through no reunion for nothing." Meanwhile, one cast member who we won't name allegedly ran to Mona and said, This isn't a storyline no more. This is a lawsuit." But Mona? Oh, Mona was smiling. Because while the rest of them were worried about court dates, she was seeing ratings. She stepped out from her office, looked at the mess, and said 5 chilling words, "Keep the cameras rolling now." That's when security tried to separate them again, but not before Scrappy shouted, "Tell them the truth, Kendra. Tell them what you really do for those clients you meet at midnight." And baby, if the studio wasn't already frozen, it sure was now. Because according to sources, there's more to Kendra's law firm than just contracts and custody battles. Allegedly, and we're saying allegedly with a capital A, she's been the one helping certain cast members stay out of jail, pay off fines, and keep their exes quiet. One unnamed rapper said, "She got me out of 2 paternity suits and a traffic warrant before brunch." So now the question isn't whether Scrappy cheated. It's whether Kendra's been quietly running the love and hip-hop version of Olivia Pope's crisis management firm. And if so, then this isn't just a marital fight. It's a multi-season takedown plot that just exploded on camera. Scrappy, now sweating like he just ran a marathon in Tim's, tried to walk away, but Kendra wasn't done. "You think I'm scared of your little threats?" she yelled. "Go ahead and swing. Because the moment you touch me, I'm calling legal, I'm calling Mona, and I'm calling the feds." That's when Mona stepped in herself and told them both, "My office, now." And that, dear viewers, is exactly where this story goes from messy to absolutely unhinged. So boom, Mona Scott storms down the hallway like she's about to shut down a bootleg reunion taping and snatch contracts on site. The entire backstage goes dead quiet, like detention when the principal walks in. She doesn't even break stride. Hair laid, heels clapping, fury written all over her face. Scrappy's pacing like a caged pit bull, breathing heavy, while Kendra stands arms folded, unbothered, like she's about to cross-examine a hostile witness. Mona throws open the dressing room door and barks, "Inside. Both of you, now." And baby, when they walked into that room, They didn't know they were stepping into a pressure cooker with a camera rig already hidden in the corner. The second that door slammed shut, the gloves were off. Mona didn't sit. She didn't blink. She pointed one manicured nail and said, "What the hell did y'all just do to my show?" Scrappy starts ranting first, hands flailing, sweat dripping, still trying to make himself the victim. "She wiled in Mona. She pulled up on me with fake receipts, trying to end my whole career over a side story that ain't even real. Kendra, she didn't even flinch. She slid her purse onto the couch, pulled out her phone and said, 'Play dumb if you want. I got it all recorded. Texts, audio, and bank transfers. Want to hear the one where you promised Amara B you'd buy her a Benz before my birthday?'" Mona's jaw damn near unhinged. "A Benz?" she repeated, blinking twice. Scrappy tried to change the subject, talking about how Kendra been running shady legal ops behind closed doors, laundering hush money and covering up deals that would make the IRS cry. Kendra laughed so hard she had to catch her breath. "You want to talk money, Scrappy? Tell Mona how you took 10 grand out of our joint account to buy studio equipment that never existed." "Where's the equipment, Scrap? Where's the business?" Scrappy's face changed colors, so fast he looked like a malfunctioning traffic light. And Mona, she started pacing, grabbing her earpiece and muttering, "Legal gonna have a field day with this." But the worst part? Neither of them backed down, not for a second. Scrappy slammed his hand on the table and shouted, "Tell her. About your mama's basement, Kendra. Tell her about the bags of cash." Kendra's eyes narrowed like she'd just smelled something foul. "You really going there? Fine. Yes, I have kept cash there. You know why? Because you kept overdrawing our accounts chasing your rap dreams at 40 years old. Somebody had to be responsible." Mona nearly choked. "So what you're telling me is, both of y'all are dirty?" Kendra raised an eyebrow. "No, what I'm telling you is I have dirt on him. Big difference." But Scrappy wasn't done. "Don't let her act innocent," he said, pointing at her like he was in a courtroom drama. "Ask her about the rookie producer she's been feeding unedited footage to. Ask her how she's been flipping scenes and selling blackmail material to win her court cases." Mona's eyes snapped wide. "Wait, are you saying she's been using footage from my show to blackmail people?" "Allegedly," Scrappy said with a smirk. Kendra rolled her eyes. "You got any actual proof, or are we just throwing glitter at the fan now?" But Mona didn't care. She saw fire, and she wanted gasoline. "You know what? Good, give me everything, both of y'all. Because if I'm going down for letting this circus air, I'm getting a spin-off out of it too." That's when Kendra reached into her folder and pulled out the ultimate. Receipt a printed email thread between Scrappy and a leasing agent for the mystery condo. In the email, a note that said, "Please keep the name off the buzzer. My girl can't know," attached. A copy of the lease, signed by Scrappy, with a security deposit wired from their marital account. Boom. Game. Over. Scrappy lunged to grab the paper, but Mona stepped between them. "Touch that folder and I swear to God I'll call security and have your mic cut for the rest of the season." Scrappy backed off, but his chest was heaving like he just did a full cardio set. Kendra, calm as ever, looked Mona dead in the eye and said, "I came here to end this. And if VH1 airs even half of what I just gave you, I promise you this franchise will never be the same." Mona took a deep breath, sat down, and said, "Okay, you two want to ruin each other on camera? Fine, but from this point on, everything you say is mine. Every phone, every text, every leak. It belongs to this show now. If I'm gonna be dragged into the flames, I'm going to light the match myself." Kendra smirked. "Then start with this," she said, tossing a flash drive across the table. Surveillance footage from the condo, time-stamped, with Scrappy on camera delivering groceries. In slippers. Scrappy's mouth opened and closed like a broken Pez dispenser. Mona leaned forward slowly. "Groceries?" she asked. "So you was running a full house?" Kendra crossed her legs. "Oh, he wasn't just paying rent. He was playing house. Netflix, Uber Eats, everything. All while telling me he was in Atlanta's rap lab, which I later found out was just a hookah bar with Wi-Fi. And baby, the rage on Mona's face, that was real. Not because of the cheating, not even because of the money, but because she missed all of this mess and didn't get it on camera until it blew up in her face. Meanwhile, Scrappy was cornered, humiliated, and one camera pan away from crying. "This is a setup," he mumbled. "Y'all trying to ruin me." Kendra leaned in, soft and savage. "No, baby, you ruined you. I'm just helping produce the finale." At that point, the room fell so silent you could hear a makeup sponge drop. Mona turned to her assistant and said, "Cancel lunch. Call the legal team. And book the damn W hotel. We're taping confessions tonight." Scrappy looked up, startled. "Tonight?" Mona nodded. "Tonight. And if either of you leaks a single word to Instagram, I'll sue you so hard you'll be back selling mixtapes out your trunk." Kendra stood up, brushed off her blouse and said, "Good. I'll be ready. I've been preparing this moment since he lied about that studio session in Miami." As they exited the room, the cast outside scattered like roaches with iPhones, pretending they weren't eavesdropping the whole time. Spice allegedly whispered, "Oh, this is better than any reunion special," while Rashida just looked stressed, mumbling prayers under her breath. Even Carly Red had to recharge her phone because the tea had drained her battery to 1%. But baby, this was just the beginning. Because as Kendra walked down that hallway with her heels echoing like a gavel in a courtroom, she turned back and said, "Oh, and Mona, that little side chick? I already filed a cease and desist. She speaks, she sues. I'm done playing nice." And that's when Scrappy completely lost it. He spun around, red in the face, shouting, "You want to go to war? Cool, let's go. I got secrets too. Let's see how clean your firm looks when the IRS starts asking questions." And that's where part 2 ends with threats, lawsuits, and Mona standing between two ticking time bombs, both ready to burn the whole damn franchise down just to prove a point. But just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, baby, this is where the entire love and hip-hop empire started shaking like Mona's Wi-Fi signal during a live stream. Security didn't even know where to stand. One guard tried to block Scrappy, but he shoved past him, yelling, "Let's talk about them tax clients, Kendra. Let's talk about how you've been hiding settlement checks from producers you allegedly helped." The hallway froze. You could literally hear the boom mic creak under the weight of its own shock. Kendra stopped walking, turned with that lawyer stare, calm as ice, and said, "You're throwing rocks at a damn courthouse, Scrappy. You really want to do this?" "Oh, he did." He said, "You think you the only one with receipts? Girl, I've been building my own file. You forgot about them NDAs you forged for that influencer couple? Or how you build them under fake LLCs to keep the IRS off your scent? And right there, camera. Or no camera." Sheeta gasped so loud you'd think she just saw her wig float. Even Mona, watching through the monitor feed, had to grab her water bottle like she was about to choke. Kendra clapped back instantly. "Oh, that's cute. You really think hearsay counts as evidence? Please, Scrappy. The only thing you're qualified to do in court is get sentenced." But Scrappy wasn't backing down. He pulled his phone out mid-hallway and waved it like a trophy. "How about this?" he screamed. "A screen recording of your assistant talking about rerouting payments. That sound like a clean law firm. To you, Mona, huh?" Mona nearly broke her earpiece, yanking it off her head. "Everybody shut up and sit down. We taping confessionals in 30. But the cast was already in too deep. Spice was in the corner texting somebody. They about to tear down VH1 with this drama. While Carly Red was already on FaceTime, with 3 different blogs whispering, "Y'all got space on your homepage? 'Cause girl, I got footage." And then, boom, like a plot twist out of a Shonda Rhimes finale, the side chick popped back up. Amara B, yes, the same Amara B who allegedly was hiding 2 dressing rooms down, pretending to be a backup dancer. Sis tried to tiptoe out the fire exit, but security caught her. They brought her back like a fugitive with too much gloss and not enough sense. The second Kendra saw her, it was like a switch flipped. "Oh, look," she said, "if it ain't the Airbnb tenant of the year." Amara tried to smile, tried to say something about not wanting trouble, but Kendra wasn't having it. Trouble? You're the blueprint, baby. You're the reason this whole expose even exists. Mona's head nearly exploded. You mean to tell me she was really living in that condo? Kendra didn't miss a beat. Not just living, thriving. Uber Eats, designer bags, all of it courtesy of our joint account. And now she wanna act like she don't know who paid the rent? Amara B stammered. I thought it was promo. Scrappy said VH1 covered the tab for dancers. The hallway collectively screamed. Even Scrappy facepalmed. Girl, I said that one time to shut you up. Mona turned to security and whispered, please take her outside before I forget we still need release forms. Amara was escorted away, crying about being misunderstood, but the damage was done. Now the whole cast was fully tuned in, watching this legal soap opera unfold in real time. Even young Jock peeked back in, sipping from a protein shake like, damn, y'all still going? Mona finally ordered both Scrappy and Kendra into separate green rooms. I need confessionals from both of y'all, raw, no filters. And if either of you tries to lie or dodge a question, I'm dragging your storyline into season 12 with zero pay, Kendra scoffed. Please, I already wrote my opening statement. And that's when it got real. In her confessional, Kendra went full Olivia Pope. She broke down every bank statement, every lie, and even pulled out a mini whiteboard, yes, a damn whiteboard, to connect the dots like a CSI special. Scrappy. Thought he could outplay me? I handle cases nastier than this before brunch. He cheated, he stole, and he forgot I got a degree in vengeance. The producers couldn't stop grinning. Ratings? About to be insane. Meanwhile, Scrappy's confessional? A hot damn mess. Man was sweating bullets, stumbling over his words, muttering stuff like, I just wanted peace. She always in lawyer mode. I ain't never had no say in this marriage. He tried to spin it like he was the victim, but the editors already had a vault of receipts waiting to drop in post. Then came Mona's final move, the teaser. Cut together. In less than 2 hours, the trailer showed Kendra storming in heels, Scrappy yelling through his teeth, and one slow-mo shot of Amara B looking guilty as sin while holding a Chick-fil-A bag. The internet went wild. Twitter crashed. Instagram blew up. TikTok got flooded with edits, theories, and hashtags like hashtag CondoGate and hashtag lawyered by WIFEY. And baby, VH1 didn't even have to promote it. Everyone was reposting it. Celebs were subtweeting. Wendy Williams, yes, from retirement, allegedly texted someone. Now this is reality TV, but behind the scenes? It was pure chaos. VH1's legal team was on standby. Sponsors were reconsidering contracts. And Mona, sis was on the phone with Netflix, Hulu, and Zeus Network trying to see who wanted exclusive rights to the fallout. Because if there's one thing Mona Scott knows, it's how to turn mess into money. Kendra, meanwhile, filed for separation the same night, and not just separation. She launched a full forensic audit on all their shared accounts. Scrappy responded by dropping a diss track on SoundCloud at 3 titled Wifey Trippin', FT, Amara B. Spoiler alert, it had 6 plays, all from his burner phones. The cast? Shook, Rashida told Kirk. We gotta start locking our taxes in a vault. Spice tweeted, I ain't say nothing but I seen everything. And Mona? Sis announced a new 2-part special titled The Truth Behind the Condo, Love, Lies, and Law Degrees. And best believe Kendra already secured executive producer credit. But what about Scrappy? Oh, he's spiraling. Rumor is he's shopping his own tell-all special and begging for a guest spot on Zeus. He even offered to take a lie detector on Instagram Live. Meanwhile, Kendra's reportedly been offered her own courtroom-based reality show called The Verdict, where she helps women expose cheating celebrity husbands in fake legal battles with real consequences. Talk about flipping the script. So now we're left with a shattered marriage, one exposed rapper, a side chick with a deleted TikTok, and Mona Scott with her heels on the table sipping tea like a villain who just won. And if you thought this was explosive, baby, you haven't even seen the reunion trailer yet. Let's just say Amara B didn't stay gone for long. And Scrappy?
He might just be served live on set. Stay tuned.
Because if one thing's for certain, this ain't just reality TV anymore, this is war in red bottoms and lawsuits. Welcome to the new season of chaos, darling. And no loyalty left, but the drama. It's just getting warmed up. Asterisk, and there you have it. Folks, another love story shattered, stomped on, and dragged across the backstage carpet like a busted lace front after a reunion taping. Scrappy's ego? Bruised. Kendra's law degree? Weaponized. And Mona? She's somewhere counting streaming checks with a smirk that says, "Y'all thought this was unscripted?" But let me ask you this, do you believe Scrappy's broke or just bad at hiding it?
Is
Kendra the hero in heels, or the quiet queen pin with courtroom connections? And Amara B. Side chick, victim, or just another player caught in a script tighter than her waist trainer? We need answers. We need theories, and baby, we need your opinion. So go off in the comments. Drag them, defend them. Drop your receipts if you got M. Who do you think really holds the most dirt? Who's bluffing and who's about to end up in cuffs? Or on the cover of Essence with a tell-all? Make sure you smash that like button like Kendra smashed Scrappy's ego. Subscribe so you don't miss part 2 of this beautifully chaotic saga, and hit that bell icon like Mona hits the intercom when she smells drama brewing. Because if you thought this was wild, honey, the next episode might just involve subpoenas, secret audio, and a surprise cameo from the IRS. This isn't just messy, this is art, this is scandal cinema. And you, my dear viewer, are front row. Keep it locked because we're not just spilling tea. We're brewing storms. See you in the next one.